Greetings. My name is Rozelle White. I'm an education advisor with Higher Education Consortium, Trio Education Opportunity Center. And today, our webinar, Wednesday, will focus on major college expense. It's kind of a play on words, but what it really suggests is how much will you pay for your major, the major in which you choose to major in college. So how much will my major cost me? That's the gist of this PowerPoint. First thing you have to do when selecting a major, you have to do some research. You have to research the major because what you're actually doing is you're embarking on a financial path. So what you do, you ask yourself, how much will this major cost me? And then how will I pay for this major? And so what you have to ask yourself, and maybe you're blessed to have an inheritance and someone pays for your major, someone left you some money to pay for college. And, some of us weren't that fortunate. And, there are always scholarships out there, there's grants. And then for some people have to get loans. And there are some popular majors out there. And if you have an interest in a pre-med or pre-law or engineering or marketing or things of that sort, those are pretty expensive majors. So what you have to do is, more often than not, you may have to take out a loan for those majors. Okay, so you do your research on your major, and then you see how you're going to pay for that major, and then you embark on a financial path of how you're going to pay for your college, your college tuition and that particular major. And it's also important to note that during this COVID-19 dynamic, it's really okay to go to a community college. It really is. It's really okay to go to a community college. You always wanted to go to that Ivy League school and you just wanted to maybe have the same alma mater your uncle had, or your mom, your dad, your brother. But it's really okay to go to a 2-year community college to get those 2-year requisitions out the way. And it's less expensive. And community colleges are, they're good schools, and you can get your 2 years out the way, and then you can move on to a four-year institution. So that's important to know on your financial path in selecting a major. After research, you ask yourself, why that major? Like, why did I choose this major? What was my drive? What was my passion? What was the interest behind that major? And then you ask yourself, does the university that I want to go to have my specific major? And I know a lot of people are sometimes downtrodden, and they're kind of disappointed because the university that they always wanted to go to did not have their major. And so now they have to choose another school, and you have to weigh those options. The university that I want to go to doesn't have my major, or the school that I really don't really want to go to has my major, but I wouldn't really like the school. So what do I do? So you really have to ask yourself, why that major? Why did I choose that major? And then you have to be content with the major in which you choose. The major could be something that you've always dreamed of. You've had a passion as a child, and you fulfill that dream. You move forward and you major in that. But here's the thing: be careful in changing your major, because trust you me, I was one who changed my major a couple of times, and not only did that leave me in college longer, it also was more money. So once you stick with that, once you have a major, I would advise just to stick with it. It's advantageous to stay focused. And here's the other key point: an undecided major will also be costly because you're undecided. You really don't know what you want to do. So more often than not, it's good to go in and focus on a major, or you can also be undecided, but either way, you have to project the financial course for you to be on that particular major path. And so then after you look at why that major, you have to look at the time frame, okay? What are the specific credit hours for this program? Meaning, just the time frame. How long will I be in school? How long will I be in school? And then after completion of my general education classes, how close to graduation will I be? Okay, so you have your credit hour program. That's the amount of hours that it will take for you to get your degree. And then you look at how many general education classes you have, and then how many classes you have to focus on your major, because before you get to the emphasis, before you really focus on what you want to do, there are some gen ed classes that you have to take, okay? So you have to look at the time frame. And then there are also certifications that you may need before graduation. Again, I was one to have grandfathered on a path because when I graduated from college, I needed to pass the national teacher's exam. And they actually have changed that now. You cannot graduate unless you've passed the national teacher exam. So my particular program and dynamic, I was able to graduate without passing that particular test. Although now you cannot graduate until you have passed that certifications. And other programs are like that as well. So you just have to look at the time frames and the certifications that majors consist of. And then after graduation, can I get a lucrative job majoring in that field? Okay, that's another thing you have to ask yourself. Can I get a lucrative job? Lucrative meaning, is it gonna pay me some money? Am I gonna get paid some money to major in this field? And even in this field, you wanna gain some experience. So after graduation, what kind of experience would you have? Will it be a major that you wasted your time in and you just wish you had majored in? Or can you continue to grow? And that's another thing. You want your major to stretch you. What area of growth is involved in this major that you actually want to major in? You want to put your focus, your drive, your time, your effort, your energy. You want to put this into this major. And then you want to ask yourself, is there promotion status? Will I be stuck at a certain level, or per this major, is there room for me to grow? Okay, so after graduation, you want to look at all of those components because those are major factors and contributors into what you will major in. Okay. And then finally, we want to look at the major bondage. Okay, you want to look at how much will the salary that you make per this job, how much will it pay you? Because what you don't want to run into, you have a job and you have to take out student loans, and you have a monthly payment, you have a monthly debt ratio, and now your outgo exceeds your income, and you don't really want to look at this. So you don't want to be a slave to your bachelor. You don't want to be a slave to your master's. You don't want to be a slave to your doctorate, to the point where your focus is just a monthly payment on paying back student loans and the like. Okay, so you want to look at the salary in which this major will actually afford you the opportunity to do some things and not just be a slave to paying student loan debts, because no one wants to do that. Okay, so you have to look at the major bondage that it consists of. Okay, you can put your questions in and I'll try to answer them in the chat. And this is my contact information. We are working presently. I hope this was informative to you. You can see everything, every form of communication you can contact me on. I just hope this was informative for you. You take care and be safe. Peace.